In this second video where we're playing with color, we're going to talk about complementary colors, talk about saturated colors and how to desaturate colors. So if you look over here again on our color wheel, you'll notice that the colors that are opposite each other, we have blue and orange, red and green, yellow and violet. These are called complementary colors because together they complete all three primary colors, but for example, yellow does not have any blue or red in it. So it's the violet, which is a mixture, is opposite the yellow. So they kind of complete each other or complement each other. So when these colors are placed next to each other, they're very, very strong and they help each other out and make kind of jump out of your painting. So in this color exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to place our complementary colors next to each other. We'll put red next to green, all right, and we'll put some yellow next to the violet and blue next to the orange, and we will add a little bit of red to the green, and then a little more red to the green, a little more red to the green, to see what happens when we take the complement and we mix it with the original color. So let me get some paint out here, and then we'll continue with this experiment. All right, so I've mixed up some green paint, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue, more yellow than blue to make a green paint, and then I've taken some red paint directly from the tube. So now I'm going to paint the green here on my little green box. All right, and I'm going to paint some red over here on the red box. So these are called saturated colors. They're bright, they're not grayed out. They're basically the pure hue of the color, the green and the red. Now to desaturate the color, we're going to see what happens when we desaturate the color. I'm going to take the green. Let's take a little bit of green and put it over here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of red and I'm going to add to this green. And you can see already that the red adding to the green darkens the green, kind of grays it out a little bit. And I'm going to paint that right here. Then I'm going to take a little bit of more red, and I'm going to add that to the green. And that grays it out even more. It gets a little bit closer to a brown. And you can see how it's getting darker as I go. And then one more time, I'm going to take some more red and mix it with the green. And now we're actually at a brown. And we're going to paint that on there. Now, this is important to know because when we're going to shade or create shadows in our painting, if we have a green object and we want to create some shadows or some darkening, we can add some red to the green to create a darker shade of that green. And sometimes that works a lot better than black. Black doesn't always work well as a shade, and we'll play with that a little bit later. All right, so to continue this, now we're going to go the other way. I'm going to take some red paint, put it over here, and I'll take a little bit of green and mix it with this red. And you can see that starts to gray out or brown out and desaturate the red. so. Now I'll take a little bit more green, mix that in there. Paint that on there. And you can see we're getting closer to a reddish brown. And then just take a little bit more green. Mix it in there. And we're back to a brown. So, and I'm now I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to do it with the yellow and the violet, and with the blue and the orange. And you're going to do the same process as well. And we'll take a look at it, what it looks like after we've got the whole page completed. So if you take a look, this is what our experiments with desaturating color will look like. We've taken our complementary colors, put them all next to each other. I finished the whole chart here. And the thing to keep in mind is that when you put complementary colors next to each other, they bring out each other, make their brightness and their hue and their saturation really strong. But when you mix complementary colors, then basically what you're doing is you're taking all of the three primary colors and gradually mixing them together, which ultimately leads to earth. It leads to a brown. So this is what your chart should look something like this. Depending on how many little amounts you add to each, you're going to have a different chart and a different color chart. But this is the basic procedure to understand how to desaturate the colors. So go ahead and do this one, finish it up, and then we'll move on to the third video, which is tints and shades. And we'll learn how to make our colors lighter, and we'll learn how to cast shade on our colors. See you in the third video. Thanks.